We're at the last Rifles winter workout. It is late in the morning, 9:30 now, right?
Yeah, late.
And I guess you've been up since 2?
About 4:30.
4:30?
Yeah.
So this is practice 6?
Yep.
And then what do you think?
Good. You know what the best part is the growth that we've seen from practice 1 to practice 6 has been tremendous, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. The system we were putting in this year is, I wouldn't say drastically different from last year, but we're changing a lot of the fundamentals that we like to do and the kind of the approach we're taking with our guys. And just to see the way that they've responded, especially by now, like this weekend, was absolutely tremendous. Our defensive backs had a day and a half today, unlike any other so far this year. So it's really been fun watching that growth and that development, and now they're buying in and believing in the systems. That it's fun to see where we're getting to, and it's exciting. Now we're getting amped up for spring camp.
Nice. And well, D-back is always kind of a tough area to fill.
Yeah.
So that's got to be heartening to see that.
Yeah, and you know we've always had skilled receivers. I mean, the Rifles have, whatever reason it is, always have receivers that are crazy talented and stuff. So it's been kind of frustrating watching the imbalance for the first little bit. But now seeing the DBs climb back up and get back into that competition level and going out there competing their butts off against those guys, it's been a blast to see. So it's been great.
Well, just watching today, I see Scott Noyokes on one side and then Paul Childs on the other. It's like, that is a pretty impressive looking pair of slot backs.
Yeah, exactly. And you had Brett Carter in, who was all Canadian last year, and Julian, and we just, the list goes on and on with the talented guys that we got out here right now. So we got some rookies that are really exciting to see. And some guys that have been out of football for even a couple of years have come out that are, they're putting the work in and doing the right things.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what we were just talking about, Paul Childs, and I was watching today. He was very vocal. Seems like he might make a difference this year.
Yeah, him and, even Sanchez came out today, who hasn't played football in a couple of years. And those two guys are, they're older guys. They're both 22 years old. Their presence alone on the field makes a big difference. They're both guys that are not shy to be a leader. And just them being on the field and being in the huddle has been a great calming presence, I think, for a lot of guys on our team.
Oh, that's great. And so they have many Calvin kids that have come over?
There's been a few Calvin kids that came out. There's actually, we didn't graduate that many guys from Calvin last year, so they're going to be pretty loaded up for this year. So we haven't taken too many of them, but we got a couple of those guys out here representing, so it's good.
Great. Okay. What got you into playing football?
I was 6 years old, didn't know what football was, had no clue, and for my birthday my dad took me to a Riders game because I grew up in Regina, I was born there. Took me to a Saskatchewan Rough Riders game. They were playing the BC Lions and I fell in love right there on the spot, and I was like, Dad, how do I play football? I want to play this game. And the next year he signed me up for football, so I think I just turned 6 or 7 and got into tackle football in Regina and moved to Alberta and continued on there through high school, and then junior football. I played the Edmonton Huskies for 5 years. So
right, and a pretty interesting trajectory from there. You played for Edmonton, who's a bit of a junior powerhouse for a few years, and go to Central Florida.
Yep.
Yeah, Central Florida, which is a basketball school, as far as I know.
Yeah. They're a big basketball school. They're a football program that's kind of been on the rise for the last decade or so. They had, Dante Culpepper made them go from a Div 2 school to a Div 1 AA to a Div 1A, so they grew a lot in that sense. And then they're always still a basketball kind of school, but yeah, there's a crazy transition going from junior football to down there and stuff. And
and then so you come back here, you're with U of M. Win a national championship.
Played 3 years at the U of M and had a blast. It was really, really good, and great situation for me having Brett McNeil, who's now actually on our staff. He was my O-line coach at that time. He's now our D-line coach here. Having him mentor me and teach me really pushed me from being a good football player to being a great football player, and it brought a new level to me, and just the mental preparation he gave me and the attitude he instilled in me on the field was incredible, and it pushed my game to a whole new level.
So what made the Rifles job attractive to you?
I've always been interested in coaching. I've been coaching now for about 10 or 11 years, and junior football has been near and dear to my heart. Like I said, I played 5 years. The first year we were 0-9. My last 2 years we were 7-1. So I got to see the worst and then the best of junior football and what it all has to offer. And as good as the Vanier Cup was and the Bison experience was, junior football is just separate. It's its own little entity, and it is just a special time in my life. And I enjoyed it so much. I've always wanted to get back involved in the junior football in some capacity, and this was just a great opportunity to do that.
Okay. Can you tell us outside of football, you have any hobbies, anything you'd let people know you a little better?
Outside of football, well, no, this is football.
He's pure football. He's all about football, people.
Fantasy football.
Outside of football,
I enjoy fantasy football quite a bit. I like getting involved in the community, and I love doing stuff for not-for-profit organizations. I've been with United Way in the past, Big Brothers and Sisters Club in Orlando when I was down there doing school. with Bisons Against Bullying. Those sort of organizations I really love, and they're near and dear to my heart, and I think you can't give enough of your time to them. So that's what I kind of do, and I love just working with the youth. I've done some stuff with inner city youth here in Winnipeg, and that's now just kind of transitioned my career again to kind of get kind of back into that aspect. And I just love that mentorship type role and working with young guys and kind of helping them achieve their goals and their dreams. So it's something that's I've always kind of taken an interest in, and I think that's kind of where the coaching part kind of comes through too. It's just kind of being in that role, in that position. And it all kind of ties in together, I guess, but it's something I love doing and something I'll always continue doing.
And so is it true that you've guaranteed a national championship in 3 years?
Absolutely not, but I will promise that we will play with a lot of intensity and a lot of effort, and we'll be out there and we'll be competing our butts off each and every game. We do all the little things right, the wins will come. Mm-hmm. I don't worry about that at all. It's just making sure that we have the right mentality and the right character on this team to kind of push forward and finding the right leadership. So that's kind of the process we're going through right now. Mm-hmm. And eventually it will lead to the W's for sure.
All right. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.